was difficult to accept in those first daylight hours, looking at the state of Port Stanley, that the Argentines had been here for less than 3 months and that the British landing was less than a month ago. Stanley looked and felt as if it had been at war so much longer. And it was obvious from what they'd brought with them that the Argentines thought they'd come to stay, even to the point of renaming streets and buildings in Spanish for the convenience of their troops. Thankfully, the Royal Marines quickly began to put things right. Men who had been here when the Argentines invaded on April the 2nd and had defended Government House returned there that first morning of peace and raised the flag over the building they'd tried so hard to defend. It is easy to criticize an enemy in defeat, easy to believe the half-truths that were rapidly beginning to circulate around Stanley. But it is true to say that the Argentines have not left the capital as they found it. Their filth and vandalism is everywhere. It looked as if they'd been under siege for 12 months instead of 2. Proper hygiene must have been difficult in a garrison of 7 or more thousand men, but it wasn't helped by turning the floor of the post office into a public lavatory, with 3 months' excreta to be hosed away by Stanley's fire brigade. And the narrow streets were used as much as rubbish dumps as thoroughfares, with rotting food and unwanted discarded equipment littering the gutters. The Argentines had an odd way of impressing the Falklanders to the Argentine way of life. And the Argentine cause is not helped by our confirmation that they placed one of their most lethal weapons, the 155mm long-range guns, deliberately in between people's houses, knowing how loath the British would be to fire back on them. The Argentine cause can't have been helped by placing their anti-aircraft guns in the school playground. It cannot be helped by painting the Red Cross on a white background on any house that suited them. They knew, of course, that it is the internationally respected symbol of immunity, the protection from attack. And yet they painted it on houses in which they garrisoned their senior officers and on houses in which they stored ammunition. The school itself had been turned into an arms dump. There has to be something in the Geneva Convention or some such code of war that forbids it. The weapons of war are stacking high, and as one pile is gathered up and stored away, so another takes its place. A lot will be destroyed, but what is in good condition will become ours to use. As one British Army officer put it to me, the Argentine junta must be made to lose money as well as face. Certainly, their Falklands expedition is going to cost them. Their garrison was well stocked, and when we realized what had been available to them, we were grateful that the only thing they lacked was the will to fight.